Hi, this is SAP APO trainer from Uploads. Um, In my previous discussions, I had started the discussion about the configuration part of APO-DP lifecycle plan in the APO-DP cycle. Among that, I covered MPOS, storage bucket profile, master profiles, define and design planning book, interactive planning screen. These are these are I have covered. Additionally, I covered the feature of APO-DP that is called lifecycle planning. Today, I am going to cover the topic macros. Macros. Okay. Before going to start, let me give a general definition of the macro with an example. In general term, I'm showing you what is the meaning of the macro. Mm, sorry. For example, if you want to add, let's put yeah, product to be, sorry. Yeah, 122. Okay. Okay. In Excel, I would like to add these two rows. I would like to sum up these two rows. For that, we to make a sum of these two rows, we have to write formula, or we have directly the Excel. I'm telling about the Excel. Directly, we can click on auto sum. Then you get the results. Just drag and drop. This is where we in this way you can sum the two sum the we some we have to make sum for two values. In this similar way, whatever we did in the Excel, in the similar way also, we can perform this action using APO-DP with the help of macros, which means that what is this? Not bad. Macros. In APO, we can use macros for the computation purpose. We can do simple calculations and complex calculations also we can perform with the help of macros in SAP APO-DP. Okay, macros are executed either directly by the end user in interactively, or automatically and automatically macros get generated with the help of background jobs. Here in the Excel, how we perform the simple calculation. In the same way, also we can do the simple calculation in a APO DP with the help of macros. With the help of macros, we can do simple calculations and complex calculation we can perform. And macros are executed either directly by the user in the interactive screen by using in the interactive screen itself only. User can directly execute the macros, or we can, or not we can, or macros can be generated automatically. Macros can be generated automatically at some point with the help of background jobs. Which means that this background jobs I will cover in the coming topics. Just remember this point: macros can generate automatically, at certain point with the help of background jobs. I will show you this point in practical session. Okay. Another point is macro are normally used normally created to a specific planning book and data view. Okay. Macros are normally created to a specific planning book and data view only. For a particular planning book data view, under the particular data view, under the particular planning book data view itself, for the planning book data view only, we are going to create the macros. Let's go to the configuration part. Okay, the path to create a macro is APO, SAP Money APO, demand planning, environment, current settings, macro workbench. Okay. SAP menu, APO, demand planning, environment, current settings, macro workbench. This is a path where we can able to create a macro, or the T code is //SAP APO ADVM. Okay, this is the T code to get the access of the macro. Double click. See, if you see here, macro book description, planning book, data view, number of macros. Among that macros, how many are ungenerated? I will explain this once I created the macro. Then you get to know what of the fields of all these things. Okay. Let me give some small description about this. I already told that macro macro creation is specific to only for planning book and data view. See here, whatever the macros we created, it going to it has to be created under a particular planning book and data view. Okay, this is a now we are going to create a macros. To which planning book we are going to create the planning? To which planning book we are going to create the macros? Slash and slash SAP API slash STP 94 for this planning book. This is our created plan book, and for this data we are going to create a macros. Here, let me add some additional points. STP 8P. So, I'm going to okay. Back save settings and history of I minus 2 save settings. Continue. Here, what I'm doing is for this monthly view, I didn't add the history YYMs to key figures. But for the month and year data view, I added this key figures. Here I'm going to add the two key figures in the month view. That I'm going to add to why, because to show the functionality of macros, I'm going to add these things. Monthly view. Continue. Okay. Okay. To reflect the changes, I need to come out from the T code, and I had to load the T code again. Now I get this history of MS for MS2. Okay. Now start our actual work. I'm going to create the macros under my own planning book and data view. What is my planning book and data view? Is that? Let's see here. Oh, where is my planning books? Otherwise, I just clicking and saving find. Instead of checking all these things, I'm just giving UPL. Start. 1 minute. Yeah, this is the thing. Yeah, this is my planning book, and under this data view, I'm going to create it. Okay, this is my planning book I created, and under this planning book, and for this data view, for monthly data view, I would like to create a macro. If you want to create for the weekly, we can select data view as a week. Now I'm going to create for the monthly. That's why I'm going to select this as monthly. Okay. Once I see, if you see here, this is a screen where we are getting exactly the entire demand plan screen. And entire demand, how we can enable the screen. That's the same thing you are going to see here. See here, what are the key figures we maintain in the entire demand planning screen? That are all going to be seen here. Same thing. Okay. The next, this is the area where we are going to create a macros. Here the actual work is going to be done. These are the elements. To create a macro, we need the elements. Those are the elements we have to get it from these fields. Okay. Once we create a macro and activate that macro. Finally, you put that macro in the depot. Once we activated that macro, then finally we have to move those macro into the depot. That means we put in a separate in a place in a particular place. Okay. And this I will cover after completion of one example. I will cover this thing. Okay. Then next, go to the how we going to create the macros. First of all, once we are going to create the macros, first of all, select this macro. Just drag and drop macro, give the name. Here I am going to create a macro to calculate the total forecast. For example, see, I have the forecast as this is a forecast quantity I have. After reviewing my forecast, promotional team adds some promotions for their value. After that, manual correction has to be performed. Then finally, I need to get the total forecast. Total forecast nothing but here forecast plus promotional key figure plus manual corrections. Okay. For example, promotion team provide the promotions of 1,000, and manual corrections team provide the manual team provide their values as 500. Then final output is the addition of this forecast. That means total forecast here is. Finally, we are going to generate this total forecast after getting the forecast from the APO DP. Promotion team review the forecast and they're going to add the promotions. After that, consensus meeting has to be happen. In the consensus meeting, they're going to change they're going to add or subtract the some values if they want to do the changes. Then finally some of these forecast promotions and manual corrections values will finally move to the SNP or ECC for production purpose. For that purpose, here I'm going to write the macro to generate the total forecast, which is nothing but forecast plus GAP underscore prom, nothing but promotional key figure plus manual corrections. This is the thing I'm going to be write as a macro. Okay, and now go for. See here, I'm giving the macro name as a calculate total forecast. See here, the option is here we get here I get the description. The next is the macro type. Collective macro is blank is a simple macro. Here collective macro means, let me give you some small thing about collective macro. See, collective macro, collective macro. In this, by using this collective macro, we can put 6 macros in a single macro. Okay, by using collective macros, in the collective macros we can add more than 6 macros or more than 2 macros. Let me put it as more than 2, more than 3. If more than 2, more than 3 is come under the simple macro addition itself. That's why I put it as 6 macros. 6 macros means more calculation has to be performed. That's why I put the 6 macros. Normally, if it's more than 6 macros, then it will come under the collective macros. Okay, by using this collective macro concept, we can put the 6 macros in a 6 macros in a single macro. Okay, but here I'm not going to create a collective macros for that reason. Especially for that reason, here I'm going to select as a blank. Blank means a simple macro. Okay, this I will tell about the later. This thing also. Continue. Okay, once we put the macro, immediately we have to put the step. In the step, what you're going to do, calculate total forecast. This is a standard procedure. This is a standard procedure. This is standard procedure for creation of macro. Once we started once we going to create a macro, under the macro we have to put the step. The step represents in that macro what we are going to here. Okay. Here I am going to create and calculate total forecast. Okay. I want total forecast for the future period. That's why, for that reason, here I am going to use the from period and to period. Is nothing but from 2022 for 24 months. I am going to create. I'm going to generate the total forecast. Continue. Okay. This is a step. Under the step, I have to write an actual logic. It means an actual formula, which means that for which key figure I want to write the macro. For total forecast key figure, I want to write the macro. Row for which key figure I want for total forecast key figure I want to write the macro. For total forecast, column starts from from December 20, from 11 2020. For future period only I want to generate total forecast. Okay, here the change mode is value change. If you expand this one, value change, attribute change, desegregation, adjustment level, this means that here I want the values. Here I am going to calculation. See, if you want not to do any calculation, we want to do highlight. You want to make a highlight for the key figure. At that time, instead of value change, we have to select an attribute change. That means I want to highlight the total forecast key figure with the color of green, with any color. I want to, if we want to highlight anything. In that case, so we have to select the attribute change. Now this is a value based. That's why I'm going to change the value. That's why I'm going to select the value change only. Okay. The remaining options we have following, fixing, preceding, defixing, adjustment of the level, fixing. These are all the dependence only. That means decimal points. These are all depends on decimal points. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to adopt. Row total forecast is equal to, what is the formula? Total forecast is equal to forecast plus GAP prom plus manual correction. Okay, total files equal to, I'm going to select another row. See, we get the option as insert, append, next level. Insert means this row will created above this. Above this. That means we don't want this one. Append means in the same line it will create, it will generate. We the create next level means it is the next level, the next line. Here I'm going to select the next level. Why? Because the append means which means that the second calculation. That means for total forecast for total forecast key pair, I'm going to generate the macro. If I select the append, it will represent as a this is a okay. This, the new step is for some other new calculation. That for the reason I'm going to here select it and create next level. In the next level, what I had to do? Summation of forecast. Continue. See, total forecast is equal to row forecast. If I select append, let me show that to you. Then we get one idea. Delete. If I select as append, it will be like this. It is meaningless. See, if you see here, this is equal to is equal to, which is meaningless. Which means that here I'm going to generate for another key figure also. For that purpose, I here didn't select the next level. I didn't select as append. I'm going to select as a create a next level. Okay. Total forecast is equal to forecast plus where you get the plus operators. Here we can append plus another append. System itself defines. We are not no need to confuse about it. System itself defined as okay. This is the append step. This is not next level like that. It will show automatically. Forecast promotions plus append manual correction. Okay. Now we get the formula. Forecast is equal to forecast plus GA promotion plus manual correction. Now our macro creation is ended. Once the macro creation is ended, we need to activate this macro. Select this, execute. See, it turns to green. If while writing formula, if we did any mistake, it's beyond the standard levels, it will not get activated. It will shows the error messages. System itself not allowed to activate once until and unless we corrected it. Okay, we created the macro, and let me tell about this fields. Default level change start exit. Here default, and simply we can term it as a let me first of all let me discuss about a default event. Default means once we load the planning book, see, once I select this selection, once I select the selection, then total forecast get generated. Let's get generated automatically once I select the selections. This means that the default macro. Default. At the time of loading the selections, system calls default macro. Then next, start. Here start means at the time of C, if you see example, if we enter some values 100, 200, after enter these values, if you just click on enter, automatically you get the total forecast values. That means starting up at the starting point. On default means once we load the selections, system will display automatic system will give the total forecast values automatically once we load the selections. That means default macro. Here start macro means once we load the selections, after that once we are going entering the values, the time of entering the values, we get the total forecast value. Okay, this is about start macro, which means start event. At the time of entering the values, system calls start macro. Next event is level change. Level change means at the time of drill up and drill down, system calls level change. Let me show you this one. A level change event when it calls at the time of drill up and drill down. For example, here I load the all data. Okay, here I load the all data. Now in the brand level, I load the all data at the brand level. Now I would like to see the detailed level. See, I just load the values at the brand level. Now the values are 3750, 3750, 3750, 3750. I just total forecast values as a, if I write the macro for total forecast, then I assign it to the level change type. Once I load the selection, then I once I click on detail all, at that time only the macro will get executed. Okay, the time only the macro will get executed. This is about the drill up and drill down, and the event is the level change event. Another one is exit macro. Exit at the time of save the data, system calls the exit macro. Okay, see, here I created one macro. This macro I put it in the default event. The default event means what? At the time of loading selections, system has to execute this forecast value. The system has to execute the total forecast value. Okay, this is the meaning of that. Let me see practically. Before going that, what I'm doing, I'm just loading the selections, and I'm going to adding the promotions 1000, 1000, 100, 100, 200. Okay, manual correction is 200, 200 minus 300. Okay, then I save the values. Just load the planning book again. I'm sorry, I didn't save this. We need to save this. I forget to save. Okay, I assigned this to total calculate. I assigned the default. Then here I'm going to saving this macro. Save this macro and coming out. Yes. Okay. Now the macro get created. If you see here, number of macros 1, which I created now. Okay, and that macro is default macro. I assign that macro in the default event. That's why it's shown as default macro. If I assign it as a start, then it shows as start. Then start macro. Then showing the start macro. Okay. Now, okay. Monthly. Here I'm going to loading selections. See, now get the values of total forecast here. Okay, see, forecast plus ZAP Chrome plus manual corrections 4750, 4950. Similarly, here I give the manual correction 300 minus 300, 3890, 3590. Like that, we can create the macros. Let me go for the another macros. See, here I'm going to see the now we generated one sample macro. It's total forecast with the sample calculations. Now I would like to add the color to this key figure. That means I need to view my total forecast key figure as in a highlighted with the different colors. User one this requirement. We can fulfill it with the help of macros. Okay, for that, go to the macro keyword. Just select our created. Find underscore UPL star. For monthly view, I'm going to create. Here I'm going to create the macro in the same manner which I created previous one. The same I'm going to create here the macro. Here the name as a color for total forecast. Okay, continue. After immediate macro, we need to select step here. Color for total forecast for the period of for the future periods. So total. You want to see for the total. Total means for the past and future. I'm just selecting as a total. Continue. Okay. Then now here, I'm sorry. Okay. Here I did a select aggregation. Okay. No issues. Okay. Okay. Now row, for which row I would like to add the color, for total forecast row. And here column sort is from the to do end. That means for entire row I want to be highlighted. That's okay. Here I'm going to set the attribute change. Why I'm going to selecting the attribute change? Why? Because here I'm not doing any calculations. Here I'm going to change. I'm going to highlight the key figure with the color. This has to be done with the. This has to be performed by selecting this attribute change. If I'm going to for the values, which means doing the calculation, then I have to select the value change. Okay. Now here I'm going to select the attribute change. Adopt. Okay. Total forecast. Operator. Here we have some inbuilt functions. For inbuilt functions, my requirement is I need to highlight that particular key figure. For that we have row bg. This is one function. By using this function we can highlight the particular key figure. Okay. And I would like to highlight that row with green color. Color code 12. I'm going to display the color code here as a 12 space 12. Continue. Then macro is get finished. I'm going to activate my macro. Macro get activated. And I'm going to assign this macro as a default. I'm moving this macro to default. Means once I loading the selections, the color has to be visible. That's why I put this macro in the default. I'm saving that macro. Yes. Yes. To get the to get this change to get these changes, we have to come out from the planning intel plan screen and load it again. SDP 94. See, this get highlighted. This row get highlighted. Okay. Then next, now I would like, that means user would like to view this history data. If you want to view the history data, he had to scroll backside. Instead of that, he want to see that history data in this screen itself only, which means he want to see the history and forecast at a time. History values and forecast at a time. For that reason, here what I'm doing, I'm going to copy this all previous history key figures to the history y-2 key figures. Okay. And this history y-2 are the auxiliary key figures. It will not involve in the planning. It's only for the picture, which means that it acts as a mirror image. Okay, it will not involve in the planning. Just for the convenient purpose, we created this key figure. We created this other key figures, and here we are going to put the past history values in these two key figures. Okay, for that, same thing. Select this one, macro. Copy history to y-1, simple macro only. See, assigned a button. For this macro, I'm going to assign button, which means that by clicking that button, by clicking the button, values has to be displayed. Let me show here. Here means once I load the selections, once I put I'm going to select one button here, one additional button. If I click one button here, the values has to be displayed. That is my requirement for that thing. Here I am going to choose a button. If I click this button, then the copy here history values will copy to the y-1 history key figure. Continue. After immediate calculation of the macro, we have to create a step. Okay. The step is copy history to y-1. For the period, which means that yeah. Yes. Here I'm selecting as a for 1 year. For 1 year. Let me show you here. Which means that from here on, I would like to get the history values of month 11 2019, month 12 2019, and month 1 2020, month 2020, month 2020, month 4 2020, like that. Like that value I have to get here. Okay. I'm sorry. Month 2020. Forget. We're in the 2020 now. I think we are in the 21. Okay. For the 12 periods. Continue. Okay. Is equal to history y-1 row. Row. History y-1 start from 2020. Adopt operator. Sorry. Let me cancel. I don't want this. Delete. Y-1 is equal to row. Next level. History. On the history for the last year, which means that from the 11 2019. Okay, continue. The next step. I'm going to get this another step. Append. Sorry. That. Here I created one step. copy history to y minus 1. Under the same macro, I'm going to create another step. What is the name of the step? Copy history to y minus 2. For what periods I want this one? Y minus 1 is for last 1 year. For minus 2 for past second year. Okay. Just a minute. Just I'm sorry, I'm back. Yeah. I created one step to copy the last year history. Okay. Now the same manner. For 12 periods. You can set the 12 periods also. So directly it will get taken. To get automatically changed here. See, if you see, select here automatic column adjustment from column, which means that in the next month, 12th month is coming. It if December is started, it automatically change it as we no need to change. We no need to change manually. Directly, system automatically change it as 12, 2020, 11, 2021. If you enable this option, okay. Continue. Under this step, I'm putting a row e3 minus 2 starters more than 2020. Value change itself only is equal to row next level history value column start from 28. Continue. Okay. Here, yeah, like this. The macro compression is created here. What I did here, under a single macro, I created 2 steps. Let me change this name. Copy history to auxiliary key fields. Okay. Under that, I created 2 steps. One step is to copy past 1 year history to one auxiliary key figure. Another step to copy past second year history to the another key figure. Then here I'm going to execute this. Select it, execute. It's activated. Okay. And here I assign one button here. Once I click on that button, only the values will get changed. Otherwise, it won't. Okay. Here I'm not going to put this in any level. Default level change start exit. Why? Because here I already assign one button. If I click on that button, only this macro has to execute. Okay. That's why I'm going to say once I save here. Okay. To get the script changes, come back, load the planning book again. See, this button will get will get raised. People is not it was not there. Now it will be available. Value is available. History is also available here. So what I'm going to do, I just simply clicking this button. No, history is populated. I no need to give I no need to go back and see the values. Instead of that, initially I'm leaving the values here itself. This is the benefit. Okay, this is another macro. Like that, these are all the simple calculations. In the similar way, we are going to create the multiple calculations also. We are going to create a I'm sorry. In the similar way itself only, we are going to create complex macros to do. For example, if you want to use a if statement, the condition. Sorry, if you want to use some conditional statements, in that case also we can use the macros. By the help of macros, also we can create the. Let me show you here. See. See if you see. Let me explain these elements. Here macro means is standard thing. User exit macro. User exit macro means here we are going to create an user exit macros. Some with the help of some with the help of ABAP teams. Here we're going to create the macros with our own created macros. So that means some fields will not be available here. That means some calculations will not satisfied. That means some fields, some elements is not up to your level. That means you want to go beyond that. You want to go beyond that. We want to create the some additional. Apart from the additional, we're going to introduce. With the help of ABAP, we can create our own macro. But this has to be done with the help of ABAP team. Then step. Once we created a macro, we had to go to step control statements. Control statements. Control statements means if let me show you here macros. Let me put the macro here. Put some test. Step. Test. See control statements. If we have if that means conditional. If statement condition. Here is a condition. If new condition. What is the condition name? If total forecast. Here I'm giving description only. Total negative forecast. If negative forecast, which means that if total forecast is less than zero. Here again a condition. If total forecast less than zero, generate the alert. That means we don't want to see the negative forecast. Forecast values are always in the positive only. The negative forecast is the wrong forecast. Then system automatically generate the we need the alert message. If once the forecast is negative, we need the alert. By this alert, we have to select this alert status. We can give any name, no issues. We can give any name. We can alert type. We can put it as anything. This thing I will cover it at the time of alerts. At the time of alerts, I'm going to take care about these things. These types of examples. Now, just for the understanding purpose, I'm going to tell here. If the negative value is out of a negative value, system will going to generate the system has to generate the alert by using a macros. We can do this also. Okay. This is the use of the control statement conditions. Planning table, row, column, cell, area. Row it means that key figure values. That means key figure, which means that yeah, key figure values. Like that column. That means for this particular month only we want to change the values with the help of column. You can do that for a particular area for particular cell. That means for this cell only we want to do the we want to write the macro for this particular cell only. We want to write the macros. We can do it for particular area for particular area also we can write the macros. This auxiliary table means this is only for the this behave like auxiliary key figure which we discussed at the time of planning book creation key figure attributes. We discussed about the auxiliary key figures like that, like the same functionality also here has to be done, which means that it will not show in the database. It will not save in the database. It will act as a mirror image. But samely, that means whatever standards, whatever the standard planning table is there, in a similar way for all these fields, we are going to apply. We will going to apply the auxiliary fields. Okay, so operator functions. Operator functions here we have so many operators like into plus minus dividend less than or equal to some additional absolute values. Absolute abs means absolute value, actual column, actual level, actual like that. We have number of fields we have, date, time, more fields we have. See, these many fields we have. This will be used by the user's suggestions. That means user want to view the data in different. The user want to calculations in different manner. With the help of user inputs, we can select the operators. This is about the macros. This is about the macros. And tomorrow in the coming sessions, I will cover some topics. Some topic means I will repeat this. I will make a repeat of this concept with some additional with some additional features, with some additional options. Then we'll get to know about the complete thing of the macros. This is enough about the macros. This is enough about the macros. Ongoing, if you want this short work on the real time, then we get to know about complex macros also. Complex macros, everything we get to know. And this is enough for to do the simple calculations, to perform any calculation. But most of the 75% projects we will use the simple calculations only. Simple calculations we are going to use the in some projects, in some critical projects only we are going to use the complex calculations. Okay. Yeah. Here I covered here I covered the topic of the today I covered the topic of macros. Tomorrow means in the next coming sessions I will cover some additional options in the macros, some additional options in the macros. And the pending this in this setup activity is the proportional factors, and this I will cover in the coming sessions. Okay, this is from my end today. Thank you.